Okay, just to make sure if I'm being heard, uh, and also to check out. Okay, all right. Welcome, welcome everyone. Maybe just a little bit more time because I notice the participants number is increasing. I think it's a new feature that I can see who is joining, but I can't see your faces. I really wish to see all of your lovely faces. But I can see a list of all of you today who is here with me. Okay. I see people from SD Guthrie, Mercedes Group, Gutor Group, Afin Group, uh, Bank Rakyat as well. Okay. Wow, we have a really diverse group of companies here today. IOI Group. Wow. Thank you so much for taking your time out this morning, okay, to spend this hour with me. Okay. Um, Maybe one more minute, then we'll begin. Okay. Good morning, Suraj. Good morning, Jasmine. Okay, I believe all of you can hear me. Okay, because my mic has been having some problem for the past few days, so I'm a little bit jitterish if it's gonna go off later while I'm talking. So if ever you can't hear me, all of you can't hear me, please feel free to drop it on the chat so that I'm aware because my mic has been, acting up a little bit. Okay. All right. So I will start. Okay. For all of you who just joined, okay, thank you so much for coming here. All right. We will be discussing about rest today. Okay. So rest is a really, really common word, right? It's a very general, simple word. Okay. Even children, kids, they understand what rest is. Okay. And we will be discussing a lot more about rest together, and more specifically, how rest can support our productivity. And very often, as we grow up, as we become adult, right, we see rest as something optional, right, or even something that we might not need sometimes. Yeah. Or if anyone can agree with me, you can feel free to drop your thoughts in the chat, whether you agree or not, or whether you have a different thought. I would love to hear and see all of them. And I promise I will get back to all of you. Okay. And or even something that we might have to work so hard, and at the end of the day we feel like, oh, we finally earned it, and then only we will rest. Okay. So there are a few categories of how we perceive or understand or look at rest. Yeah. Okay, good morning all. Shafika, Sulaiman, Aizat, Rosie, Suraj. Oh, thank you so much for the warm greeting. Okay, really, really appreciate it. All right, and we'll be exploring today a slightly different perspective about rest. Okay, maybe some of you who have been a long-term supporter of Naluri community webinar, maybe some of you might have already have some idea of how to better uh, care for ourselves, right? How do we rest? And rest is actually part of how we sustain our focus, our performance, and more importantly, our well-being. Doesn't matter physical or uh, mental or emotional well-being. Okay. Okay. So just a quick housekeeping rules, making sure that you are using a fully supported browser, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge, ensuring that you have a satisfactory internet connection. Okay. Also testing your speaker output. And if you ever experience any difficulties in watching the webinar, try refreshing your browser and rejoin it. Okay. And if it didn't get better, please send a private message to @Naluri Events for assistance for the technical difficulty, and we'll have our team to help you out with it. Okay. And also, if you have questions or you have thoughts, okay, feel free to drop it in the chat box. All right. Or if you feel like there is something that you want to send it in a private, more private setting, you can type @Belle, okay, my name, BELLE, before you write your questions so that it will be only viewed by me. All right. Or if you want to be anonymous, okay, because I can see who you are, right? Okay, if you want to be anonymous, no worries. You can, I believe there's an option where you can send private message. All right. And also at the end of this presentation, it will be shared to all of you as a PDF, and also you will be receiving a recording, right? In event that you might not be able to catch the whole webinar, or you maybe sometimes you just want to re-watch the webinar because it's going to be so good, right? Okay. All right. Okay. So a little bit about me. Some of you might have already know who I am. This is my second time here. Okay. If y- if you guys have joined my webinar, the first one during February, hello again. The newcomers, I'm part of Naluri. I'm also a registered and licensed counselor, and I used to work in a medical setting. Okay. All right. Okay. To start us off, a little bit of I would call this icebreaker, just to get a sense of all of you in this room. Okay, something related to what we're going to talk about today. Reflect a little bit on when was the last time all of you took a real break during your workday. Okay, not just switching task to task, and also not scrolling our phone, but actually like stepping away mentally with a proper space. Okay, only during lunch. Helen, Zairi, Kyria, quite a number only during lunch. Yeah? Wow. So assuming lunch is an hour in the midday. Okay, when my back is aching, only I'll step away from my workstation and walk around. Amira. Wow. So when you feel your pain, your back, only you like notice, oh, I'm in pain. Then it's like a reminder for you to walk around. Okay. All right. So your body is sending you signals. Yeah. Okay. Salva, quite a number of you only during lunch. I only know breakups. Okay. Lunch break. Before sleeping time, Tiong Soon, Jamie, Nor. Oh, every 1 to 2 hour fires. That's interesting. Okay. Ian. Oh, toilet break. Okay. Okay, Jasmine, I read that. I'm always on the move. Wow, Joanne, you're always on the move. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So that bring us to, okay, looking to, you see, most of us only, being reminded of taking a break when it's lunchtime, right? When it's time to eat, when we are hungry, or when you see people start to moving, only you realize, oh, it's lunchtime. All right. Or for some, when they feel body pain, only they feel, oh, it's time to move around, to straighten my back, to align with the spine, right? Okay, when you're forced to stop. Okay, so almost there is a pattern of not having a planned time to stop, right? It's kind of like involuntary, right? All right. Okay. And no worries about that. Okay. So, what we're going to talk about today is maybe we can look at how to plan our rest time more intentionally. Okay. Because we are all really, really hardworking people, right? We are all Malaysian here. Is that right? Okay. If there's Indonesian or Singaporean here, uh, we are all human and we are all really, really good at functioning. All right. We are all very good at planning our executive tasks, our work from day to day. And then only until nighttime, the sky turns dark, right? Everything is done, right? If you are a house, you if you take care of a house too, after you clean up, come back from work, after everything is done, only okay, it's time to rest, it's nighttime, all right? But almost very rarely that we plan time for rest. Okay, as you can see, right? Only being forced to stop. Okay, so there are a few key takeaways that I would like to leave all of you with our time together today. First, a clearer understanding of what rest actually means in the context of productivity, how rest affects our focus, energy, performance, decision making, and how we can apply some practical ways to integrate rest into our daily routine, okay, in a way that feels more realistic. Okay, all right, let's take a look at this one. Okay, I will maybe give like 30 seconds for all of you here to take a look. All right, which one feels something familiar, right? Is this something like we've been learning, we've been hearing, we've been experiencing, something that is really familiar, a message that we might not even be aware of subconsciously? There is this hustle culture, right? Oh, we have to work harder. Sometimes resting means we are lazy or weak or sick, only we can rest, right? And then we force ourselves to push through fatigue, right? Because it's good, means it means we are hardworking, right? It means we are doing our work, doing our job, what gadget, right? And we are expected to be always available. Okay, so these are all good stuff, right? Good character, good behavior. But at the same time, in reality, when there is too much of output, too much of exertion, um, we are using our energy too much, our body will slowly wear off and give way in a way that it might not bring about big problem in the present because we're still young maybe, but in years to come it will start to show up, or even months to come if the stress keeps accumulating. All right, so the reality is fatigue reduces productivity. Okay, and many of us have been conditioned to associate productivity with constant effort. But the truth here is hard work is not equivalent with better results. Okay. We are so used to push through, try to finish our work, get things done first. But then it's actually bringing us to diminishing returns. All right. And while effort is important, there is actually a limitation to how effective that approach can be. All right. Because beyond a certain point, continuing to push might not necessarily improve our work. Okay. And the truth is, it reduces it. Okay. The hidden cost of being on. All right. When we are consistently operating without enough recovery, okay, we are always on the go. We are always, forcing ourselves to do work. We may still be completing tasks, but the quality of our work might begin to decline. or we might find ourselves, experiencing maybe brain fog, or just staring at the computer, staring at the laptop, at the screen, uh, and we might feel dreadful, or you might notice procrastination. Okay, in very small ways. All right, and then you'll notice that we might feel a lot more frustrated. Okay, and these are often signs of cognitive fatigue rather than what we call lack of motivation, lack of willpower. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at this image. If anyone can share with me on the chat, how do you understand this image? What do you think this lady? What happened? What is happening here? What do you think this lady is feeling? Or um, okay, face burn out, stress, try to work beyond capability, tired, exhausted, stressed, tired. Wow, pandai semua. Okay, very, very high EQ here. Okay, when you see someone's, body language, behavior, you notice like, okay, somewhat, this is what's happening. Fatigue, sleepy, drowning herself. Wow, Ian, very, very detailed here. You notice there's caffeine around here, one coffee after another, but yet still feeling tired. Wow. Okay, that's very observant. Too much coffee. She took a powerful nap before reinstate back her work. Look from the positive side. Wow, I love how you are reframing your thoughts, um, and seeing it from a good side. Okay, taking a small rest and thinking. Overwhelmed. Wow. I'm really, really happy to read all this uh, subjective opinion here, your observations, your feedback, your observations toward this picture. Each, do you notice all these are observations of kindness and empathy? Do all of you notice that? All of you see it from the point of she's having a hard time. She needs rest. Looking at the positive side, after she take a rest, then after that she'll go back to doing work again. It shows that our community here is very, very kind, very, very positive and supportive, and we love this energy. And I believe with all of your presence in the company, your colleague are well supported. And I hope yourself is well supported too. Instead of saying like, oh, malas ke, dia apa? If I could share with you, I once worked in a company where uh, one of my colleagues got really, really sick, period pain, menstruation pain, right? So she's really struggling, but she's still showing up, okay? Tapi there is one colleague lah, okay? So dia kata, itulah, nak pura-pura sakit lagi. So you can see like different people have different perception and different choice, different lens to how they see a person struggling, right? Recalculating own life decisions. Okay, all right. Okay, next. Okay, chronic fatigue syndrome symptoms. This is actually a medical diagnosis. Okay, meaning that if you were to feel like you suffer from burnout, you go to a doctor's office, you get yourself checked up, you share. If there is a doctor that is patient enough to hear you out, okay, you probably will be diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndromes symptoms. You notice like things like loss of memory, concentration, very hard to focus. Okay, and a lot of time, I notice there is a pattern of staff or people that come in and asking if I'm having ADHD. If they are very worried, they want to get checked out. right? Because they notice that they can't focus, a very fleeting concentration. They feel like they need to move around, they can't sit still. I want to assure you here, okay, yes, there is some of the trait of ADHD can be present in all of us in a different spectrum. And that doesn't necessarily that we are ADD, okay? It's because our body and mind and emotion is reacting to our environment. Okay, it's a normal reaction to our environment that can be stressful, that can be maybe abnormal environment. Okay, environment that has been making us that we have to push through. Okay, so when we forgot to take rest, okay, our body is oftentimes very smart. It's faster than our mind. So they will start to, you will start to feel energy on your legs, on your body, or some tingling feeling that make you have to move. Okay, so these are signs that your body is carrying too much, and they need to expand that energy and take a break. Okay, and sometimes we often forgot to hear our body. Okay, the signs, the sensations that it's giving us, telling us, hey, look at me, listen to me. Okay, I need you to care for me. All right. And also insomnia. Okay, sometimes we might be able to fall asleep, but many actually experiencing like waking up in the middle of night, then feeling heart palpitation, feeling a sense of like panic, okay, and then thinking about work, thinking about the next day. All right. Headache, pain, body pain, fatigue, sore throat, physiological signs like because your body get weak. Okay, when your body is weak, tak cukup tidur, right, lacking of sleep, stress, your immunity generally will go down. Okay, and then that's where the virus and bacteria start to be, attacking us. That's why we find ourselves getting sick more often. Okay, so this could be the sign that you can notice. All right. Okay, so here's another question. Okay, when you feel exhausted at work, okay, do you find yourself pushing harder or stepping back? What is your default response? I'm really curious with all of us here. I mean, everyone here. Do you tend to continue pushing through, or do you allow yourself to step back briefly? Or you don't even notice that you are exhausted only until lunchtime or time to go home? Step back. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I received a question here, all right, but I wouldn't mention the name, all right? How about constant gastric or stomach upset? Yes, that is also one of the physiological sign too. When we are very stressful, the cortisol hormone, the stress hormone will be elevated, okay? And it will start to affect our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our relaxation system, okay? And what happens when there is an increased stress in our body, okay? Cortisol increase, right? So our nerve would start feeling tense. Okay. So it can affect some parts of our body that should be relaxing, or it could affect secretion of uh, some sort of acids in our body, right? Some sort of liquids in our body that is supposed to be helping us to function. But when things are off balance, emotions off balance, too stressful, these things can be off balance too. All right. So constant gastric, diarrhea, this could be sign of chronic stress. Okay. Um, okay. Taking some time to read your response. Pushing harder. Okay, so it seems like 50-50. Half of the group find themselves pushing harder. Half of the group stepping back. Wow. I like that you said stepping back and chat with a good friend at work. That's actually very important. Okay, seeking social connection is one of the way that we release our stress. When we connect, because we are human, we are social animal. I understand some of us might think that we are introvert, okay, but sometimes introvert, we need someone that we trust also to have that little bit of social connection. Then we go back to our cave again. All right. So social connection is actually very nourishing to our body and well-being. Very good. Okay. All right. So why we are doing this? Okay, because sometimes when we are too busy, we are trying to get by our day back to back. Okay, lepas kerja, then we have to jemput anak, right? We have to pick up our kids and then go back. Then we need to do all sorts of things, kids' homework, cleaning the house, cooking, or whatnot. Okay, so we might not have this time and space to be able to properly reflect on how we function, on how we take care of ourselves. So that's why I want us to have this space to, ask all these questions, to really think, oh, is this what I have been doing? Okay, so because when there comes awareness, it can shape how we see ourselves, how we understand ourselves more. And that's where, when we are ready or we want it, we can slowly learn and find ways to manage our energy over time. All right. Okay. Here's a cute uh, image. All right. Our brain needs recovery, not just our body, our brain. Okay. Our brain is like our CPU, actually. It's one of the major thing, very important. Okay. And recent research has shown that our brain, it can only continue to grow and learn as long as we feed it. Okay. And it does not exactly have a stop button. Okay. So I understand, like, there is some of us that might find ourselves overthinking, right? Thinking a lot. And we might even judge ourselves, why are we overthinking? Is something bad? Okay. I want you to know, overthinking is not something bad. Okay. Overthinking is a way that our mind is trying to make sense of things. Okay. When we make sense of things, okay, we feel a kind of predictability, understanding, certainty. That's how we feel safe. That's how we feel like, okay, all right, a sense of emotional security. All right. So when we find our brain keep running, doing work, analyzing, okay, problem solving, our brain don't get a off button until at night. Okay. So we need to plan time for our brain. Okay, we are gonna use our brain for how many decades? Okay, I'm 30 years old right now, 35 years old right now. Maybe I got another 40 years. Okay, another 40 years to use my brain. So that's what I always tell my kid. You are gonna use your body, your brain, your eyes, uh, for maybe like 80 years. Okay, please take good care of it. Right? Okay, so we want to plan time to take care of ourselves. Okay, not just our brain. All right, and they need recovery. All right. Okay, because if we don't stop, right, these organs, they wouldn't stop. Okay. Science of rest. Okay. We understand rest in somewhat technical thing, right? We understand it's important for our biology. It's important for living things to rest. And there are more and more studies that show rest actually helps to heal. Okay, when we are overwhelmed, when we are stressful, when we have a big emotion, when we are angry, when we are tiba-tiba frustrated or snap, get impatient or angry with things that we don't usually care too much. Okay, there's sudden change. Maybe some of you can resonate, right? And if you track back, take some time to think back, It could be that day is a very exhausting day. It could be that day is a super stressful day. It could be a day that we are lacking of sleep. Okay, so it affects the function of our brain. Okay, and rest, again, very important to restore our brain performance. Okay, it serves as a purpose to consolidate things that we learn, things that we perceive, sense. Okay, stores memory. It regulates our emotion. So there is a very important part of our brain. It's hidden behind here. Okay, underneath, it's an emotion center. All right, it helps regulate our emotion. And something very tricky is when we are really tired. Okay, that part is not gonna work well. Okay, so if some of you is a mother or a parent here, okay, a mother and a father or a parent here, you might came across this guy, Dr. Dan Siegel. Okay, he's one of the pioneer of talking about lead flipping, talking about emotion, how to help kids with their emotion. So what, after years and decades of study, they actually noticed that so our brain, okay, nampak tak? So this is our brain, okay? So as we grow up, okay, our brain grows too. Tapi when we were young, our brain is kecil je. The front brain is not well developed yet. It takes about 30 years. Okay, so only about 22, 25 to 28 or even 30 years, depending on individual, only our brain will be fully grown and matured. Then we can fully function, more rational, more reasonable, okay, better impulse control. All right. So when we were kid, okay, this is very reactive, the emotional part. All right. So what happens when we are very exhausted, very tired? Our front brain will give way. Okay, they will feel very tired and they will not be functioning as effective as when we are fresh. Okay, so what happens when something give way? Something have to take over. It's just like in a family, right? If a mom is sick, father have to step up to take care. All right, so generally lah, okay, that's the ideal way. Okay, so the emotion part will try to take over. Okay, so what happens when the emotion part take over? Without the thinking brain. So we might feel big feeling, we might feel very overwhelmed, maybe a lot of rage, a lot of frustration, a lot of anger. Okay, don't drink and drive. All right. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is when rest is not enough, it affects our thinking, our executive frontal brain function. Okay, and that is why taking a step back can sometimes help us return with clearer thinking and better focus. All right. Because if I'm going to want to go on and on, I'm going to talk about uh, something else. Okay. All right. Here's are the type of rest. Here are the type of rest. Okay. Mental rest, physical rest, emotional rest, digital rest. Right. It's very, very important to recognize that it's not just about sleep. Taking sleep is not equivalent to rest. All right. It's about sometimes when we sleep, right, we can wake up not feeling energized. We can wake up feeling like we didn't sleep. Okay. And different type of fatigue actually require different form of recovery. Right. For example, when we have mental fatigue, we may require to ourselves to actually really step back from our work, step back from the screen. Okay. Digital fatigue, right? All these blue rays and this constant stimulation of our brain. All right. We can't control uh, what we see, what we want to see, okay? Because right now, the kind of algorithm that is running, right? it's very rarely that we have a variety of choices. Okay, they only show up what we see most. Okay, so it's a sense of not pretty much in our control anymore. So instead of hoping that that thing will be regulated, we need to force ourselves to take a digital rest, right? 30 minutes off, 1 hour off, away from screen. Okay, we can control our behavior. Put the phone away. All right. So, okay, as we age, our brains start to like sports, socialize, break from handphone scrolling. Good food can bring. Yeah, that's true. Not only I know there are many types of rest, I only realize physical rest. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Um, okay, I would really love to elaborate the different kind of rest. I'll try my best, okay, because there are a lot more in how to really perform different kind of rest. Okay, for example, okay, physical rest. I assume everyone knows physical rest. Okay, laying, just laying, even though we are not sleeping, we are just laying. Okay, lying down or sleep. Okay, that's physical rest. Mental and emotional rest, they go hand in hand. Okay, so for example, if we are in a situation, okay, if we are in like a social setting, that if we catch ourselves uh, uncomfortable, okay, that is actually usually the first time, the discomfort, okay, the cringe, the sus, okay. So we need to pull ourselves away from that situation. Okay, it could be interaction. All right, pull ourselves away from the situation and bring ourselves to calm. Some might need a space, alone space. Okay, some might need music. Some would need like probably a self affirmation or even breathing. Okay, so this can be how we take emotional and mental rest, pulling ourselves away from situations that make us feel uncomfortable. All right. Yep. Yep. Muhammad Zafrin, very on point here. Okay. So thank you for that. Different people need different kind of rest. Okay, some not one size fit all. Okay, some people might work with everything, but some people might find it hard to meditate. Right, breathing can be very hard for certain people, and it's not something wrong. Okay, it's just our body really work differently. Okay, all right. Okay, and also if you have questions about more on how to do this kind of rest, right? Please go to your app, Naluri app. Okay, talk to your coach. All right, I want all of you to approach your coach. Okay, our coach is there. They are ready to answer your questions. So if you want to know how to take emotional, mental, physical, digital rest, you know, or want to talk privately, please go and drop a message to your coaches. Okay, all right, they are very approachable, accessible, and you can drop them any form of question or talk about your concerns. Okay, and it will be private and confidential. Okay, all right. Okay, so far let me pause a little bit. Is there any questions so far? Any thoughts, any questions that I could answer right now before I move on to uh, some practical habits? Bottom line is we need help, then please reach out to people out there. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And also recognizing that while it's really important to reach out to seek support, but at the same time, seeking support is not easy. Seeking support is an act that uh, even for myself, okay, seeking support is something really, really hard. Like, I know it's good, I encourage people to seek support, but it can be very, very hard. Yeah. So don't worry, okay? It definitely takes courage, time, and readiness to reach out. Okay. If you are not reaching out, it's fine too. Okay. And trust yourself that you can go through it one thing at a time, one day at a time. All right. Do running help to clear things, or this is okay? Do running help, or this is just temporary solutions? Wow, I love this question, Mohammed. Okay, running. This was something that I was discussing with our fitness coach. Okay, do I press this? Answer live? I will just answer it here, okay? I will just answer it here, okay? Um, I was discussing with our fitness coach the other day, okay? And I want to take this opportunity to go and talk to your fitness coach. Go and say hi to your fitness coach on the chat, okay? These are very good questions, all right? So running is a very good, uh, as all of us know, exercise itself in general is a very important activity, right? Because it helps lower cholesterol, it helps us to lose weight, it helps us to sweat, right? So we feel healthier and better. And the science behind it is, when we run, how it works hand in hand with feeling good. Okay, to clear things. If I'm understanding correctly, to clear things means to clear things in your head, emotion. Is that right? Okay, so running is a form of full body exercise, right? When you run, you move your whole body. So what happens? We expend energy, we discharge energy. Okay, and remember there's this little guy in our cells, mitochondria, if you remember your science or biology. Okay, it's the energy powerhouse. Okay, so emotion is a form of energy. So when we have big feeling, rage or sadness or things that upset us, when we do not have a channel or support to reach out to express it, to cry, okay, for many reasons, it can be stored in our body. Emotions are stored in our body. So what happened? Over time, our mitochondria can wear out, can get exhausted, can get burned out. So that's when we start feeling our body, showing up signs of fatigue, exhaustion, right? Rasa malas, penat, right? And when we run, we can help regenerate that. We can help expand that energy. All right. So yes, not just running, any form of exercise that help you discharge your energy. It could be, because these are a cycle, it could be a temporary solution in which, for some, when they find themselves having big emotion, upset, they want to go and exercise. That would be a healthy way to channel, to clear things off. Yep. So I wouldn't say there is a permanent solution. It is not realistic to have permanent solution to clearing things. It's a effort that we have to put constantly to manage. Yeah. Okay. Can we read book at bed before sleep? Definitely. It depends on what kind of book. It depends on what kind of book. Like, for example, if for example, right, if you are reading books that are very excited, that provides a lot of excitement, okay, maybe manga. I'm not sure about manga. Okay, manga lovers, please don't hate me. Okay, manga or those fighting one. Okay, it may be a little bit stimulating. Okay, those that make us feel very excited. All right, so it depends what kind of book. Read books that makes you feel calm. All right, or that makes you feel sleepy. Okay, but not necessarily books that bore you, but books that help make you feel good. So yes, we can. How about the interval walk as invented by the Japanese. 3 minutes slow, 3 minutes fast. Repeat it 5 times, totaling to. All right, thank you for your question. Okay, I have to admit here, I have no knowledge about the Japanese interval walk. This is the very first time, and I learned something new. Later, I will be researching and Googling about what is Japanese interval walk. I understand like there are a lot of upcoming self-help books in a bookshop, right? Like I don't know if I'm saying it right, ikigai or things like that. So they are sharing a lot of Japanese culture, and I believe it would be helpful again, depending on the individual. Okay, if you find that you try it, it helps you feel good, then go ahead. 3 minutes slow, 3 minutes fast. Repeat it 5 times, totaling to. Looking at the mechanism of this walk, right? This interval walk, it seems like it's triggering our impulses. Okay, tapping into the part of our brain that controls our impulses. Okay, how fast we can stop our self control, right? 3 minutes fast, 3 minutes slow. So it's also a kind of sport where you can train your precision. So it seems like this mechanism is good. Repeat it 5 times. Okay. Have I answered all of your question? If are you guys satisfied? If not, you can tell me you're not satisfied, then I will answer again. All right. Yep, Zafrin. Kalau penat, moody, lesu, cari benda yang boleh buat you happy and tenang kejap. Betul? Bukan lari dari problem but to regain your consciousness. Yep. Okay. Building resilience. Okay. Focus kita bukan nak run away from our problem. Okay. Yes, it can work temporarily, but it will always come back to bite us at the back. Okay. But to plan our rest, plan our break like a mini reset so that we can have this little space to clear out, okay? To have this space to feel a little better, a little bit more recharged, refreshed. Then we can start activating our front brain again. Okay? All right. Okay. I'm gonna have to rush a little bit. This habit can be quite familiar for some of you that have attended my talk. Okay, it's actually really pretty much similar. Okay, taking micro breaks. If you find yourself always always try to find a little bit of time to ask yourself, hey, am I feeling tired now? Do I need a rest? Okay, am I feeling overwhelmed right now? Okay, take a little time to sense your body. All right, some people feel heaviness on their chest, tenseness on their shoulder, on their neck. Okay, or some people feel brain fog, mental fog. Okay, lagging. All right, cannot respond. Or some people feel more irritated. You know, usually you are very close with a colleague, you can disturb each other, but suddenly today or some time of the day you feel just annoyed, right? So these are little signs that you can tap into, or difficulty breathing as well. Okay, tap into to notice that it's time for rest. Okay. The key for micro breaks is reset attention and reduce fatigue. It's really, really not about doing it perfectly. It's really, really not about not feeling tired at all. But the key is to help ourselves reset our attention. All right, a little bit of reset, just like computer. Okay, if we keep it on for some time, it will start to lag. It's actually very similar mechanism. Okay, so allow yourself to go and walk around. Okay, go and kepo, go and talk to your colleague. All right, talk, laugh, chat, gossip, whatever. All right. Um, also look away from screens. I notice, right, many of us, right, when we take a break from work, right, we take our phone. Okay, then we start to look at the screen. Okay, I understand if we look at our babies, our family or chat, it helps us feel connected. that's still okay lah, okay? But don't, okay, try not to doom scroll videos, okay? All right? Deep breathing, okay? For some, deep breathing doesn't work yet, but you can try 4-7-8. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and release 8 seconds. Okay, and you repeat this as long as you can. All right, and you'll find yourself like starting to relax. Okay. All right, Zafrin. Thank you for coming. All right, take care. Okay. All right. And okay, this is something that some of you might already be familiar with. Okay. This is actually very important. Okay. Why? Energy based scheduling. Notice how we are so used to saying, oh, yo, lepas lunch kan, wow, start to feel tired, sleepy lah, right? Um, uh, we put it on the food. Tapi almost, it could play a little factor because food help us relax ma. Okay, when food go inside, it activates our relaxation system. Okay, so our food can start digesting. Digestion is a relaxation system. Okay, so it plays a little role in helping us relax. Okay, tapi based on research body, okay, as they study our human bodily function, they notice doesn't matter the food intake actually, there's bound to be a slump in the afternoon. It's around lunchtime. Okay. And noticing that from 12 to 4 o'clock, 12 to 2 o'clock is a plateau state. It will dip, and then plateau. And then you'll notice, wow, time nak balik rumah kan? Wow, you know, when it's time to go home, suddenly you feel energetic, right? It's not because we are lazy or, you know, or what we call that. Um, effect, okay, effect of wanting to go home. Tapi it is proven, okay, regardless of time to go home or not, at that period of time we will recover a little bit. Okay, we will recover a little bit. Okay, and the most active part, the freshest part of our time of our brain is when we wake up. Okay, notice around our time wake up 6 to about 12 o'clock. Why? Okay, in short, because our body has been trained for decades, centuries, thousands of years of training. We wake up when the sun rises. Okay, we wake up when the sun rises. So it's been trained that our body, our being, right, adapted to evolve. Okay, to adapt with our environment. Okay, so when we wake up, when we had a full night of sleep, that is when we feel the freshest. And then after we use up, okay, then we start to feel tired, battery draining already. Okay, so the key is to put like problem solving work, analytical work, like task that is hard. Okay, put it on the earlier part of the day. Okay, then afternoon can relax lah. Okay, like routine tasks, admin tasks, things like that. Okay, nasi kanda. Yeah, that one got a special effect. Okay, I think could be the curry. All right, so digital boundaries are, it's been emphasized. Okay, I understand that most of our works are done with phones. We can't run away from that. Okay, but try. Okay, try to like, kalau lepas kerja, like after working hour, if your boss is, you know, very kind, don't look at the screen or phone or laptop anymore. No emails, nothing. Stop. Okay. Silent notification, intentional offline period. Okay. All right. And not only adult, actually kids also, growing number in the world, in countries, they start to ban uh, social media because of the addictiveness. All right, it's actually very concerning lah. Okay. Okay. All right. Nabil, why do I feel more fatigue when I'm on a long break? Usually after a hectic quarter. After on a long break, usually after a hectic quarter. You mean after a very tiring, for example, Q1, then you go and have a long break, then you feel more tired. Is that right? Because your body is relaxed already. Okay? Because after you are very like, for example, if you give your best during Q1, what happened to the energy level? It dips, right? So when you rest, sometimes it might not, even though you have a long break, it might not necessarily is an effective break. The duration of the break is not directly correlated or proportional to the amount of rest you get. This one we can talk more. Um, I would love to answer this, but give me a moment. Let me rush through this, okay? Okay. It's really easy to talk about rest, right? Like senang je kan, like so easy to just go to rest. But sometimes it can be hard to do. We all know the right thing to do, but it's just hard. It's just impossible. Okay. And what could be the challenges? Okay, it could be feeling guilty. All right, anyone felt that way? When we rest, we somewhat feel guilty, right? Like it's a bad thing, like it has a bad meaning, right? Or pressure to remain constantly available, right? We have to show, oh, boss ada kan. Oh, we have to sit certain way, we straighten our posture, right? Then we suddenly close all our tab, right? Okay, always on the work culture, all right? Or simply being used to working continuously without pause, all right? Because that's just how we are trained, okay? And these challenges are very real, very valid, okay, and widely experienced by everyone, okay, and they are definitely not to say solutions, definitely a way to understanding why you feel how you feel, why you experience such challenges, and there's a way to go about it and help to relieve it, okay. And rather than trying to force yourself to do something that it is not quite possible yet, look at some way that might actually be helpful. Okay, how we overcome this barrier. All right, I think this might be one of the most important one. Okay, so reframing our rest as productivity. Okay, our brain is what we tell it, and what we whatever we see, whatever we hear, our brain is a very active sensory organ. It absorbs. Okay, so we need to tell ourselves, okay, rest is productivity, rest is productivity. All right, and it is a form of energy management. Okay, it's not laziness. Okay, micro breaks, okay, equivalent to performance booster. All right, so reframing our perception to it, it's not easy, it's not an overnight work to change, but we all got to start somewhere. Okay, setting boundaries, scheduling your offline online period. All right, communicate with our co-workers, our availability, or put on your calendar. All right, busy. All right, focus time. Okay, start small. Okay, we don't always have to do it perfectly. Okay, even if it's hard to get ourselves to plan for our breaks, our rest is okay. Start from doing it small. Okay, take 2 minutes of toilet break, talk to our colleague, all right, and then gradually planning something else. All right, you can actually also do it at home. If you're working from home, it's even better, right? You can do either 60 to 90-minute work. If you want to do it in a focused time, 60 to 90-minute hard work, and after that 30 minutes you go and take a break, walk around, go and water your plant, girl, or walk your pet, girl. All right, things like that. And you can use reminder to build. Okay, like put a timer. Okay, how long you are gonna time yourself. Okay, and also maybe could try journaling your energy, right? Take a little bit of time to a little bit space, start to notice your body. All right, start to get to know our body more. Okay, and also most importantly, in seeking support. All right, open your app, approach us, say hi to us, ask us all sorts of questions. We will not feel annoyed. We love your questions. Okay, and we will try to answer them. All right, and accountability, things will achieve better when we have shared accountability, right? When you have a buddy, when you have, like when we see people, going to the gym together, right? Why? Because more motivated, right? There's so many people going together, right? It's fun, right? So it's a form of shared accountability there, actually. So if you're not prepared to talk to someone's, a stranger, it's okay, all right? Maybe you have a friend that you can trust, all right? Seek support. Okay, all right. Coming to an end. This one, okay. So I'm looking at the time. Okay, this one maybe you can take a quick look. Okay, you can reflect it a little bit after that, and then it could be a habit that you can start or try to journal. Okay, about what you can add to your daily day to day. Okay, all right. Um, that should be it. Here's the key takeaway. All right. Rest can help us focus, boost creativity, sharpen our decision, okay? Improve our emotional regulation. All right. So if I could add a little bit more, actually adults are not much different from kids. In fact, kids are very, very wise. They are very in tune with their body and emotion and sensation. All right. If you notice kids, right, they have so much energy, so much curiosity and creativity. So when the night comes, okay, only until they fall asleep on their own. Only that's the only time that they want to sleep. If not, they will fight against sleeping. Kan, children. And you can see once they have like 9-10 hours of sleep, the next day they wake up, wow, they are on the go, they are very active, they start to, want to do this, want to do that, they want to explore. So you can notice kids, these are their pattern, without the adult expectation, without the adult rules, conformity rules, right? You can see from kids when they are exhausted, when they are tired, they start to feel cranky, they cry, they're having a hard time, um, they get uh, angry, right? They have big feeling, right? So if you can notice children when they are tired, having a hard time, angry or behavior problem, they actually either need rest, need sleep, need food, or need a hug. All right, need attention. Means love lah, care, right? Okay. Yep. That's all from me. Okay, another cute picture. All right. Okay. So we have one-on-one consultation. I believe most of the sessions will be free. You can go ahead and book it online on your app. Okay. If you haven't downloaded the app, you can download it with the QR code. All right, we are very accessible. Some of us very hardworking one. We will reply you until night time, even weekend. Okay. All right. can follow us on our social media account, Instagram, Facebook, so we can keep up with the upcoming webinars. Okay, thank you. Okay, is Lee still here? Why do I feel still sleepy? Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Okay, there are some questions that I can't answer, but I will be anticipating it in the chat. Okay, thank you. Happy weekend. Selamat Hari Raya for some who are still celebrating it. And drive safe. And drive safe, please. Okay, with your family, kids. Sun rises late in Kuala Lumpur. Our body pretty much attuned to our environment. Sometimes we might not aware of it. You can try to notice if your body behaves differently when you were in KL or East Malaysia. Try noticing it first. Okay. Try noticing if it affects your waking up time, or if you feel like, the sun rises late and you find yourself sleeping a little later. Does you see if it affecting your energy level or not? Okay. Or Ian, you can ask your main coach, or if you want to ask me. I don't know how it can work, but we can talk more about this if your main coach is me. And I believe your coaches, doesn't matter who, your coach will be able to support you on this as well. Boleh repeat what you were just saying? The KL sun thing. Oh, okay. So because Ian here notices the sun rises late in Kuala Lumpur, I don't notice that. Okay, but if this is what Ian thinks, um, our body actually would slowly adapt to it, right? Like for example, if we take plane, right, there's jet lag, okay, and it takes some time for different people, few days to acclimatize with the weather, acclimatize with the weather, the temperature, the how do you call it, of another country, right? So don't worry about that. Our body would do its magic on its own. Okay, but if you notice it is affecting your waking up time or your energy level, maybe try to take note how it's affecting your output first. All right. Okay. We are 8 minutes past 12. If there is no more question coming, then we will be done. Okay. And I will anticipate all of you to, on the app, very important. That's where we can connect more and ask more questions. Okay. The app is very, very useful. Okay. All right. Okay. Chat. All right. All right. See you guys here. I love to talk to all of you. Thank you.